Hey guys, this is Speaker Freak 95, and today we have an Arvin 4-tube midget. That's the name. I don't like calling it a midget because I know some actual midgets, and they really don't appreciate being called such, so I'm not going to call it that. But it is a very unique radio that it only uses 4 tubes, and it's freaking tiny. Now, despite its really small size, here's my hand right beside it. It's about the size of a mid-60s transistor radio. Of course, it's a lot deeper. Transistor radio could be about this size, be about this deep, but it actually, I forget where I was going to go with that. Decently deep, decent condition, hammer tone finish, and you just saw the video of the clip just now of the aerial antenna that I made using cross-connect telephone wire. And I just coiled off the rest right there. Probably shouldn't have done that. And basically, it picks up a lot of stations on its original antenna wire here, but it's not that long. So I usually add a little bit of wire to it to give it a little bit of boost, and it seems to work pretty decently. We're going to start at the high end of the dial. I replaced all the wax capacitors and electrolytic capacitors. Works really well. I didn't even have to align it. That's something I didn't expect, is not having to align the set.
Avoid adding a government shutdown to the mix. Passage expected this week of a spending measure by the House.
That sacred number. They endured on the frozen lake for 3 days and 3 nights.
Aggressive therapy could dramatically change the way of treatment for newborns of infected mothers worldwide.
But it doesn't actually use a coil of wire inside the back for the antenna. It uses just this antenna here, this wire. This is the original cloth. And to protect against heat damage, I took some aluminum duct tape and coated the inside right here, where the wire goes up inside and comes out. Coated that with aluminum duct tape. That reflects most of the heat anyways.
From an apparent stomach infection, she is expected to be hospitalized at least 48 hours.
That makes me... Get it around. Well, sorry about that. Doesn't work that way.
The tuning condenser might need to be baked, so to speak. Like, take it and get some dishwashing liquid or something, bake it in a pan on an oven. No, not dishwashing liquid, detergent. I've seen Battery Maker do that. I might try that because it's very stiff. It's very hard to move.
The whole, no way to recover his body.
Get in the zone. Let's go over restrictions and details.
Hey, what's up, Chicago? This is your boy, Richard Rip Hamilton of your Chicago.
For a team, and now Granger goes limping off. I mean, it looks to me like with Rails out and with Granger out, and if he stays out for the rest of the year, I can't imagine him bouncing back tomorrow after taking himself out with the same knee. I mean, I just see a clear path for the Miami Heat, but we will see what we will see. We'll talk tonight, if you will, to my buddy Don Beebe, former NFL wide receiver. We'll talk to him about all the stuff that's going on and went on at the Combine, and all the stuff that's going on with certain players like Manti Te'o. Artie Clear joins us from Wi-Fi in Philadelphia. Artie out there, in fact, joins us every Saturday and Sunday night. Micah Roberts in the second hour from Gaming Today. We'll talk about maybe
the help that is needed morally, mentally, financially.
As for the driver of the BMW that slammed into his parents' livery cab,
He happens to be a coward.
he took off on foot. Daniela Bellata, ABC News, New York.
2013 has been less than stellar at the box office, and no sign of it changing anytime soon. ABC's Jason Nathanson with the numbers from Hollywood.
Jack The Giant Slayer won the weekend, but the earnings weren't exactly giant. The film opened to an estimated $28 million, tiny compared to the reported $200 million it cost to make. And the weekend earnings were about $2 million lower than one of last year's biggest flops, John Carter.
This is your 21st birthday.
The weekend's other new releases, 21 and Over and The Last Exorcism, bombed, opening well under
Church of
Sunday at 5:30 a.m. on Blood.
A $25 gift card just for trying.
We live very close to an AM radio transformer for 58 WCHS. That's the voice of Charleston. 50,000 watts. The transmitter's literally like less than a quarter mile. Let me go to the window real quick. I bet we can see the towers right from my window. I doubt we really could because of the reflection, but yeah, no luck seeing that. Hey, you can see me and the neighbor's window. That's not exactly a nice place to have a window. There's my computer to minimize internet noise. But on actual antenna here, it picks up okay. It mostly does really nicely and really clean sound on the local channels, but there's a lot of noise on the faraway stations. It doesn't really pick up very well with the original short antenna, so I made a little connection there with it. Wow, my camera did good with that. Good with the focus. And believe it or not, I actually just connected it to that speaker, and that's running through the house. Of course, the amplifier is gone, so it's just running throughout the house. Does pretty decently. This is the transformer we live right beside of. I don't like to stay on the station with such a long aerial because it overloads the radio, and I don't like the sound of an overloaded radio.
Listening. Have a week for me. I had two.
The better.
Not know the Lord. And when we get into the details, these people
Serving up double fine stays. Book at choicehotels.com. Now, here's the man who's been recognized as radio's best. The recipient of not one, but two prestigious Marconi Awards for his broadcast excellence. The one and only Bill Cunningham.
All right, now, thanks for having you with me this evening. I have a sense that something good happened on Friday.
The message of Scripture, which one of my favorite passages in Sacred.
But the radio works very well with a couple new orange drops installed to replace the original wax. When I got it, the electrolytics had been replaced, but very poorly, using caps from the 1970s. But the work was done here lately because there's two caps in there. Zycon brand, Xicon. They make sand block resistors, and I didn't know they made electrolytics, but they do. Those date from 2006. And there was one orange drop put in there dating from 2006, so this had some work done to it in 2006, but they used old caps. A couple were the new ones, and a couple were the original old, just older ones. You can see the tubes in there. And eventually I'll make a video of the actual insides and the work I did, but I don't want to be plagued with taking this thing apart. It's just a couple screws. You don't even have to take the back off. Put a new cord on it with a nice rubber strain relief. I actually used to just tie a knot in them and put them behind the hole, but I actually got the idea from Bob Anderson, or B. Anderson TV, the YouTuber. I watch his videos all the time. He had the exact same things. Little just rubber holders instead of having to tie a knot in it. I do anyways, even if I put these on there, just to make sure it doesn't come out or slip or it doesn't back in there. And I've had a case where I just tied a knot into it. You could push the power cord in there, and what happened when it was on, I was pushing the cord in there. I don't know why I did that. Don't know what possessed me to do it, but when I did, it pushed a resistor, and the open, uncovered lead touched a pin of another tube, and it caused a short and popped two tubes and opened up a transformer. And that was a very long time ago, but started using these little rubber strainer leaves. I got like 2,000 of them, pretty cheaply, and just been using them all on all the radios. And as you can see, it works pretty well. We'll have another, see how long it fires, or quickly it fires up on the 4 little tubes. It uses a tube rectifier instead of a selenium rectifier. It's pretty quick. So thanks for looking at my Arvin miniature metal cased radio, 4 tubes. As some people call it, the Midget. Wow, you can really tell how dirty the contacts are on this thing right here. One thing I forgot to mention, even though this is designed to be not line connected in any way, chassis meaning it's metal chassis and metal box, which means it's ultra unsafe in some ways. So I got a polarized plug, and the switch cuts the hot side of the line, and the neutral is always connected to the not to the chassis, but to the radio itself. Cuts the hot side, like as in a single pole light switch. It cuts the hot, but leaves the neutral and ground intact. It's not a grounded connection, wasn't necessary. In some aspects, I think it might even degrade the performance if it was grounded. But it's just the way it is. I ordered a polarized plug, as you can see, brand new. Got that from tubesandmore.com, I believe. And I just wanted to add that little side note in there. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, this is Speaker Freak 95, and today we have an Arvin 4-tube mid clip just now of the aerial antenna that I made using cross-connect telephone wire. And I just coiled off the rest right there, probably not, but it actually, I forget where I was going to go with that. Decently deep, decent condition, hammer tone finish. And you just saw the video of despite its really small size, here's my hand right beside it. It's about the size of a mid-60s transistor radio. Of course, it's a lot deeper. Transistor radio could be about this size, be about this deep. Midget. That's the name. I don't like calling it a midget because I know some actual midgets, and they really don't appreciate being called such, so I'm not going to call it that. But it is a very unique radio that it only uses 4 tubes, and it's freaking tiny. Now,